Hi, I'm Jan Doyle. Welcome to Wyse Talk. I am so happy to have today's guest. Her name is Hazel Meredith, and she's coming to us from Tennessee. Now, that might sound a little strange because I'm in Connecticut, but it's the beauty of Zoom. So I'm so lucky that she's able to make the time for us. Hazel is an incredible photographer. She's a master of Photoshop. She's an outstanding lecturer, and she's a wonderful friend. Hazel, welcome to the show.
Hi, Jan. Thanks for having me back.
I'm so glad you're here. Now, when we talked about this earlier, we talked about what your program would be today, and you said that you'd like to talk about editing photos on your phone. Why did you pick a phone versus what everyone knows as a digital single lens reflex?
Nowadays, I still use my big camera, as they say, on occasion, but we always have our phone with us. So everybody's taking shots all day long, whenever you travel or you go anywhere. And so I was hoping to show you how you can improve those photos a little bit over what they, just look like when you take them on the phone.
Okay, that's a good explanation. Now, you mentioned you edit regular editing and creative editing on a phone. What's the difference?
Well, as you know, since you've known me for a while, I like to work with creative filters and textures and things on my images, whether it's on my computer. I use different plugins to Photoshop to do that. And you can also do that with various apps on the phone. So I'll show you a couple of my favorite ones. And everything I'm going to show you tonight is available for both Apple and Android. So
that's good.
We're not favoring either one.
Now, do you have a preference for a phone? If someone was going to go out and buy a phone tomorrow, do you have a preference that you could recommend?
I use an Apple. I have the 15, and I love it. I had gone from the 8 to the 14,
Wow.
So I made a big jump there, and that was a huge improvement especially in the cameras. My husband has an Android, and he uses the Google Pixel Pro. He just got the 9, which is their newest one, and he likes that. And the cameras are equal. They're both really, really good for photography. I know there are others out there. I'm not as familiar with the other brands, but
I think that's interesting. You're a 2-phone family. That's so interesting. Now, I mean, really, I never would have thought that. I thought you would have had the same phone. Now, I want you to show us some basic editing on the phone. And I know you're going to, are you switching to your iPad?
Yeah, I'm going to, yes, use my iPad because it shows up a little bit bigger on the screen than on my phone. The apps are all the same. And that's the one reason I went from an Android to an Apple phone was because I had an iPad because I wanted to learn certain things on here, some of the other creative apps.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got a new phone, that was why when I had the 8 back then. So I got my iPad up. So now I'm going to go ahead and hang on. Let me undo that for 1 second.
Nope, take your time.
And I'll stop sharing so I can find the button to screen share first.
Mm-hmm.
I should have done that first. And there. Little screen share, and now I will mirror. I had to get a separate program to mirror my iPad to my computer because I have a PC, not a Mac. And they used to be able to talk to each other, and then somewhere along the line, Apple changed something and it wouldn't let me share it anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah. So for the last couple of years, I've had this other little app. Okay, so this is, most of the apps that I use are here. I have tons of others. I have a couple pages full. I have folders full. But the ones I use most often are on this screen. And I'm going to start with Snapseed. Mm-hmm. So Snapseed, that's this green leafy one on the third line.
Mm-hmm. I like Snapseed.
I do too. It's great for basic editing. Oh, looks like they've made some more changes here. So we don't really need to do that. They've changed the layout. Great. I haven't been in here in a week or two. I love when places change things. Let's see. All right. So it used to be it opened to a blank canvas. So now down here at the bottom, this green plus sign, we're going to hit that, and that's going to let me go into my library. And you can see some of our cats here.
How many cats do you have?
We have 2 basically, but we have like 6 outdoor cats, and occasionally they come and visit.
Wow.
This orange one had an upper respiratory infection during the winter, so we kept him in for like a week, and he just likes to come in and wander. And this one that's kind of sitting in my face, that's white and orange, that's Ginger, and he's the one who disappeared for a few months and then reappeared.
Adorable.
So he loves being held. Most of them do. That's Mittens, one of our other little chubby girls there. So anyway, let me get to my folder here. And I'm going to start with this real simple image. And this was actually taken with my 8 Plus. This is an older image, but I love editing this one. So when you first bring it into Snapseed, you have some options here at the bottom. Looks are also called presets in a lot of programs. And then on the right, we have tools, which is where you're going to do your basic commands. And there's also some creative effects in here too. So with this one, first I want to go into, they've changed these around. Let's go into tools. And these are in a different order than they used to be. So sorry if it takes me a second.
Oh, really? So, it's technology. Plus,
I know. It's like just when you get used to it.
You know, plus how easy is it to get to Tennessee? I mean, really.
So we have adjust is where we're going to do our basic adjustments in a second. But first I wanted to straighten this image. So I'm going to look for that. And it might be back here under the crop tool. Let's go back to tools. Love when they do these things. Come on, go away. All right, let's start with the look, because I know which one I want in here.
Okay.
So we're going to start with morning. So at the bottom, this one called morning, it gives this nice glow. This was a foggy morning somewhere in Virginia. Dave was driving. We were coming back from Tennessee, heading back to Connecticut. And it was foggy, and I just saw this tree. I like to take pictures while he's driving.
What a difference that makes. What a difference.
Isn't it? It's like something is really simple. And, you know, the native camera editing apps, whether it's the iPhone or the Android, you can do, you know, all your basic corrections in there too. Your brightness, your saturations, sharpening, things like that can all be done just as well in there. If you're comfortable with that, that's a great way to do it. But Snapseed also gives us some other things that doesn't have. Number one is these looks, which
if we have time, we'll go back to some basic editing on the phone.
Yeah.
But my question about this is that if someone is new to this, what do you suggest? I mean, you knew to go to morning. Do you suggest people try the different looks to see what they like?
Absolutely. And sometimes I don't use a look. It just happened to work with this particular image. So yeah, but definitely, and the best way to learn any of these programs is to just jump in there and try it.
Yes.
Most of them don't come, it's not like computer programs that come with a manual or you can look things up. You can always Google it. But there are lots of, YouTube videos and things like that. I do webinars on a lot of different programs.
And you have a webinar, you have a YouTube page too, as I understand.
I do.
And so people can Google that and get the information. But I think
it'd be under Meredith Images.
Thank you. Now, I think one of the easiest ways is for people to try it, get frustrated, and then Google you. That always seems to work for me.
Most of these things are actually pretty simple. So like this one, I'm straightening this now. And in this program, you're going to use a lot of sliders, which I'll show you in a second. But for this, you see the numbers at the bottom here.
Yeah, where did you find this, Hazel?
Left to right.
Hazel, where did you find the straightening tool? What was that under?
It was under the crop tool.
Oh, okay.
And that it shows that up at the top, the tool that I'm on.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I see that
And I am
now.
going to crop this a little too while I'm here. I'm going to bring in, so I'm just using my finger for all this. You can use a stylus, which I sometimes do. I have, an Apple Pencil, and I'm just cropping in a little to make this image just the way I want it to be.
Oh,
And
no.
once we're done with that, down in the lower right, there's a check mark. I'm going to hit that to accept that change.
Now, you said you used your finger, which actually I've never thought of, but can you use your pad, your mouse pad, and pull the corners down?
No, because I'm on an iPad, so I don't
Okay.
have a mouse. If I were
Oh,
doing this on a computer, then we'd be using a mouse. But
I see.
because it's an iPad, or if you were on your phone, like I said, I'm using my iPad just because it shows up bigger. And I do, if I have the opportunity to use an iPad, it's easier to see because you're working on a larger image.
Right, right.
So I will do that. But if I'm out on the road and I'm taking some shots and I want to post something on Facebook or something quickly, I'll do a quick edit on my phone just so that I can post something.
Right, right. That has made a significant difference. Would you be able to go back to the original one and then go to this one, or is that too hard?
Yep, there's our
Now,
original. All I have to do is press
wow.
on it. That was the original. And that's that. And I'm not done with
Wow.
this yet. We're still not done.
Well, I'm
Now we're going to go
impressed.
into the adjust button here. And that's where you're going to find your other controls. So at the bottom, it shows brightness. If you tap on that, you'll see that there's a list. They changed this again as well. There is a list of all the things we can adjust in here. So I'm going to add a little bit more contrast to my image because most images on the phone are going to need editing, just like in our camera. So I'm just going to slide this number. It's about there. And then I'm going to go back into this drop down and choose saturation. So I'm going to add a little bit more color. And we're going to do a plus to about there.
And you're doing this with your finger.
Yes, I am. And there's some ambiance.
Oh, I like ambiance. Just
Yeah,
as
it
a
adds a
general
little
rule. I mean, just in
little
general,
something.
yeah.
And then I'm going to take my highlights and I'm going to reduce the highlights so that the image isn't quite so bright.
Okay, when you
Come
say
down
the
to
word
about there.
highlights, I don't think non-photographers know what that means.
Highlights are the brighter areas of your image. So like this, especially in the sky, it's very bright. You can see how I brought it down. So I'll swing this back. So that's where we started. And I'm going to come down quite a bit on this. So it's darkening down that sky a little bit.
Yes, yes. It's very pretty now.
Thank you.
Very.
And then I'm going to add a little bit more warmth. We already have some with that preset that we use, but we're going to add just a little bit more. And that's a basic edit for an image like this.
Let's see the original again.
It's not going, let's get I got to accept that first. There's our original, which was like a nothing kind of an image to that.
You would never believe it was the same photographer doing that.
It looks like a completely different
Yes,
photo
it looked
altogether.
a completely different photo. So I guess what I want the audience to realize is that, you can take a photo and there's so much you can do to enhance and improve it that are basic. Now, if I remember correctly, Snapseed is a app that's free.
It is. It's its own, I think it's by Google. So that's why it can be. And they're usually free apps have ads. This one does not have ads. And this one was recently updated because there's a lot of new layouts here that I haven't even seen because I haven't used it in probably a few weeks. So they've had a very recent update. So they do keep improving it, which is really great.
Now, Snapseed is available for both Android and iPhone.
Yes.
Okay,
So
I
go to
couldn't
either
recommend
the App Store.
Yeah, I couldn't recommend more for people to run out tonight and put this on their phone. Just from this example, their whole lives will be transformed. Excellent, excellent.
Absolutely. So let's go back to our tools. And you can see that you can, if you wanted more detail kind of to like sharpen up your image a little, details would do that, kind of crisp things up. You don't want to go too far because then it gets that over sharpened look. But if you add, just a little bit of sharpening, it's not going to take a blurry photo and make it sharp, but it's going to improve, the image that you have. So you can do things like that. You can get, more into more details with things. I'm looking for some of the other creative tools that they had. Let's see. I should have looked at this, I guess, today because they've changed things a whole lot.
I'm having trouble with my on my Zoom with my personal image is coming out blurry. It's not on the screen here, and it was fine yesterday, and today it's not. So I mean, these things happen.
So some of the creative things that they used to have just little icons for, they now have under styles. Whoops, get back over here. Let's try that again. These styles. And what you can do is, play with these, and you could create a black and white image.
Oh, that's like very popular in camera clubs. For that. Very popular.
It is. So let's take that one off. Sometimes I like the vintage on certain things. It gives it kind of like an antique-y sort of a look, and you can see this kind of darkened it down a little. And it's adding like color filters to it and give it kind of that retro type of a look. So there's lots of different things you can do. Glow I like to use on some images. Drama kind of added a whole lot of texture in here.
Oh, I love that.
I think that's I haven't tried that one before. That's pretty
what's that called? Glow?
Drama? This is Drama. So they have bright, they have Drama 1. Drama 2 is a little stronger.
I like these.
This image... Go ahead.
No, I haven't used Snapseed in a while, and I'm thinking, I love what you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely my go-to program to start. Before I get into any of the creative stuff, I always want to make my image look as good as it can before I start, playing with textures or adding other things.
Now that's an interesting comment. That's an interesting comment. You do that first on Snapseed, and then you go to an additional program. What one? Okay, would you like to? Can you share something of that?
Sure. Actually, there's one I'd like to show you, and it is an Apple only one. It's the only one I'll show you that is, but it's my absolute favorite creative program. So first, let's save this. So up in the upper right hand corner, we have that up arrow with the circle. I'm going to press that. And then I always like to save a copy, so it doesn't save over my original. So we're going to do a save a copy. So now that is saved back into my library. So we're going to go into Distressed Effects Plus. Again, this one is an Apple only. This is just a default photo when you first open it. And this is what I use to add textures to my photo. And that's what I love to do. I've been doing for years. It's kind of my thing.
Yeah, it is. Is there a fee to this one?
Yes. This one is, they just actually updated it. The gal who was the co-developer of this, who developed all the textures, passed away about 1.5 years ago. And I was afraid it would go away, but the gentleman who actually wrote the program for her is keeping it going and updating it. Let's see if I have the current pricing, because I know it just went up a little bit. It was $13.99. I think it's $19.99, but that's a one-time fee. It's not a subscription. And this is the Plus version. They have a version that's not the Plus. I think it's like $3 or $4. But then when you go into the different textures here, you can change, they call them packs, like sets of textures. And you have the option of, with the basic program, you can buy these as additional packs. But if you get the Plus program, you get all of these packs. There's a bunch in that row. And then there's...
Well, it sounds like it's worth it to get the packs.
It is, because there's like 30 something packs in here, and at $1 a piece, You can see there's lots of different
Yes,
textures.
yes.
There's even birds and things we can add. So I'll show you this one really quick if you'd like.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to change this top row to Beyond Skies.
We have about 9 minutes left, so I just want to give you a heads up.
And I'll do this one called Fury.
Ooh, I love that. What is that called?
The texture is called Fury. And I want to bring that so it's not quite so heavy on here. So I'm going to hit on the right-hand side these little lines here. And we're going to reduce the opacity of that a little bit.
Now, for non-photographers, what does that mean, reducing the opacity?
So the opacity means we're making it a little bit transparent so that you're not like seeing the full strength of that texture. You're only seeing a little bit of it. And then on the bottom, we're going to go to Sky Beauty. And I'm going to use this one called Una. And that just added a little bit more texture to it.
Interesting.
And then I'm going to go into this little icon with the bird. And there's also packs of birds we can add. So I'm going to go into By the Wire and use Harvest Flock. So I want the birds to look like they're coming out of the tree. So I'm just using 2 fingers to pinch and resize this, and then just 1 finger to move it around.
Wow.
And you can put them where you want. Hit the check mark. And there you go.
Wow. This is absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely I love this fantastic program. This is my absolute favorite. So we're going to go ahead and save that. So now I've saved it this way. Now, if I wanted to add another texture to this, I don't want to come down here and change one of these rows now because that would replace what I've already done. So what I first want to do is I'm just going to press in the middle of this image until I get that pop up and say flatten it. So what that's doing is taking the 2 textures I put on top of this image and just flattening them back down into one layer. And that's going to become my new photo. So now I can add to this photo with more if I wanted to.
Oh, interesting.
So if we go back here and go to the neutrals, and I'm going to go to Flutter. And then we can reduce that a little. I love to work with multiple textures. It's just, I like to experiment. You can see how when I hover here, see on the bottom, the icon has got like a checkerboard in it. That's showing you the transparency. So the farther to the left I go, the less of that texture you're seeing. And then if you were all the way over, it's at 100%.
And I just like to tell the audience just to play with it and get a feel for it yourself.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Stop watching the news on TV. This is more enjoyable. You won't stress yourself out.
These days. And there you go.
Oh, that's
so that
fantastic.
Would be my finished image. Back from that really ugly, boring photo that we started with.
Wow. You know, it's just, I think
a lot better.
The before, it's like a different photograph. It is a different photograph.
Now it's a piece of art.
Now it's a piece of art.
It looks more like a painting.
Yes.
It looks like a painting with the strokes of the textures in there.
So driving down 100 miles an hour, your husband, you have your camera out the windows. Well, okay, maybe not.
No, it was actually through the window.
Through the window. Oh, wow.
And this was my old 8 Plus. This wasn't even the better camera. This
wow.
was the old iPhone.
This is such a pretty image. This would win an award in Camera Club. This is just beautiful.
Thank you. Just
beautiful. Now, we only have about 5 minutes, actually a little less than 5 minutes. Is there another app that you would recommend? And
yes,
just show us?
I want to show you one that comes in handy for a lot of things. Sometimes we have power lines in a photo we'd like to get rid of. This one next to Snapseed that looks like the green pencil, it's called Retouch.
Actually, I have that one.
And we're going to come in here. Yes, it's a great one. Actually, I first learned about this from, oh my gosh, I'm going to draw a blank on his name. It was at the New Haven Camera Club when he spoke years ago. Okay. they keep changing all these apps. Why can't I get to it? I don't want that.
I have it, Hazel, but I don't use it.
My goodness, I have it, but I just haven't been really doing a lot on my iPad the last month or so. So this was an image I took. This is locally here in Tennessee, except these trees have gotten so tall, they're now to the top of the silo.
Wow.
And I have all these power lines I want to get rid of. So on the bottom, we have objects, because we can also use this to get rid of objects. But I'm going to click on lines. And I'm just going to, with my finger, kind of drag along this line. And you can see I'm not exactly on the line, but when I let go, it finds that line and it's gone.
Oh, that's a miracle.
Isn't it amazing? This is like the best thing since sliced bread.
Oh my God, that's a miracle.
So when they're real close like this, we may have to do it a couple times. Sometimes it gets a little confused, but that's okay. We can go back over it.
Oh my
there
God.
You go. They're all gone. And we could even, I'm just going to zoom in. It will even work on these, like the yellow guards and the shadow from that. So I'm going to go to segment instead of the whole line. Sometimes it's easier to work in smaller pieces when you've got something with a busier background. Now let's see how it does.
Oh my God. Hazel,
and I'm not even drawing right over the line.
I know you give, what program is this that you offered? What's the title of this particular program if people are going to book you?
This is creativity with your smartphone. And this I do for a lot of different camera clubs. I have, I think, about 12 or 14 different programs that I offer to camera clubs that I speak at. And 99% of those are via Zoom these days.
Yes.
All over the country. And I've done some in Canada. I even did one in India a couple of years ago.
Well, I the audience might know I'm a member of the New Haven Camera Club, and I'm so infatuated with this. I thought, kind of hubristic that I know how to use different apps in my smartphone, but I wasn't aware of this one, and I know our camera club would like to see this, so I'm going to get back to them and book you on this. I'm going to force them to book you. Well, I'm in charge of
objects. If you wanted to, sorry.
Yeah, I'm in charge of workshops, so they're going to have to listen to me. Oh my God!
There you go.
And I work a lot with Photoshop. This is fabulous. Well, Hazel, we're just almost out of time, so I need to know how people can contact you if they want to. I know you have a free newsletter that you send out. I do both a newsletter and a blog twice a week. If you go to my website, is meredithimages.com. You can sign up there. The first time you go in, you'll get a pop-up to sign up for the newsletter, and you also get a free set of textures if you do that. And then there's one of the tabs is for the blog, and that will take you to a different page where you can sign up for my blog. I only do it on Sundays and Wednesdays. And on Sundays, I give away 3 free textures every week. And then that's where you can keep up to date on my upcoming webinars and seminars and workshops and all that kind of stuff. And trips. You do trips also. I don't know how you do it all. I had to take a nap. I was so tired. I was so busy yesterday, and I had to take a nap this afternoon because I just couldn't stand, because I'm getting old. We're out of time. Thank you so much. This was personally fascinating, and I know the audience will love it. And if people would like to contact me, my name is Jan Doyle, and my email is wiseworks365@gmail.com. And if you have an idea for a show that you think I should be highlighting, just let me know. Thank you so much. Bye now.
Thank you.